In the peaceful town of Amala, there was a woman called Amina, whose industrious nature, kind heart, and untiring loyalty to her family made her loved by all. She was raised in a home filled with love, where her parents supported each other in good times and in bad, and she promised that when she got married, she would establish her home on the pillars of love, loyalty, and selflessness. If you are new, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and don't forget to share it with your family and friends. Also, let us know where you are watching from. Her husband, Kabir, was a different person altogether. He had a broken past. His parents always quarreled, and when his father left the family, his mother had to shoulder the burden of raising him and his siblings single-handedly. Kabir lacked a father figure to teach him, so he grew up thinking that neglect and irresponsible behavior were part of manhood. Initially, Amina believed marriage would transform him, but the years proved to be otherwise. Kabir was self-centered, arrogant, and heartless. He was disrespectful to her, beat her over trivial things, cheated on her outright, and did not support the family. However, Amina never gave up her marriage. She adored Kabir and held on to the hope that one day Kabir would mend his ways. She toiled day and night to keep his shortfalls covered, operating several businesses running food products, fabric trading, and even wholesale supplies. Through her efforts, she paid school fees for the children, shopped for clothes for them, and put bread on the table. Still, she made sure to protect her children's hearts. When she bought them new shoes, she told them, "Your father bought these, go and thank him." When she paid their school fees, she said, "Your father is the one sacrificing for you." She tried to shield them from their father's irresponsibility, hoping they would grow up respecting him. But Kabir foiled all her attempts. He abused her before their children, called her names, and occasionally slapped her in front of them. He shouted at the children when they approached him for anything, ordering them to leave him alone. It was not long before her children, Ada and Chaik, caught on. "Mommy," they asked one night, "why does Daddy not like us? What did we do wrong?" Amina swallowed back her tears, took them into her arms, and said, "Don't ever say that. Your dad loves you. He's just under a lot of pressure. One day, he'll make it up to you." Kabir had no intention of doing so. Unemployed and shameless, he lived solely on Amina's money. She freely gave it, expecting her sacrifice to one day melt his heart. But Kabir used it to drink, to party with his friends, and to pursue other women. One evening, Kabir's roving eyes landed on a beautiful young lady named Ifai. She was lovely, classy, and radiant. Fascinated, he approached her and boldly declared, "You are the most gorgeous woman I have ever laid eyes on. If you will have me, I will pamper you with money. I will take care of you for life." I regarded him warily. "You don't even know me. For all I know, you might be a liar, or perhaps even a ritualist." Kabir chuckled. "Don't worry. Once you get to know me, you'll see that I am an angel who has been sent into your life." His charm prevailed, and soon they had a secret romance. That night, Kabir came back home exceptionally happy. Amina was taken aback by his happiness and softly prayed silently. To her surprise, Kabir embraced her warmly and told her, "My beautiful wife, I know that you've been toiling for a long time because I've not worked. I want to relieve you of this responsibility. I am willing to work now. I need to begin a business so I can support you and the kids." Amina's heart jumped with exhilaration. At last, she thought, her sacrifices and patience had not gone in vain. She knelt down and thanked him for changing his mind. The very next morning, Kabir rose early, went into the kitchen, and cooked breakfast for his family. Ada and Chaik gazed in amazement, but Amina urged them to eat. Before Kabir proceeded out of the house, she gave him a big amount of money to start his business. Kabir hugged her with a sweet smile, but his heart was chuckling. His scheme had been successful. Kabir ran to Ifi the same day and presented her with some of the money, telling her he was a well-to-do contractor whose people took care of all the details for him. I was convinced and impressed. At home, Kabir continued the charade. He was generous to Amina, always speaking softly and assuring her he needed more money to grow the business. He promised her, "Once the business grows, you will never work again. I will spoil you and the children with wealth." Amina, blinded by love and hope, gave him more money whenever he asked. Even though I loved Kabir's presence, she soon became discontented. He had told her to stay away from his house or inform his wife of their relationship. She couldn't stop thinking about jealousy. If he spends that much on me, she thought to herself, then his wife is staying in heaven. I have the right to all she possesses. Kabir lied to her that he couldn't marry a second wife due to family traditions. The truth, however, was even simpler. He couldn't afford to lose Amina, as she was his only source of wealth. Filled with greed, I started plotting to appropriate all the riches for herself. While Amina's business enterprises were thriving, she ventured into wholesale African fabrics and got a new client for a big deal. Initially, he bought 200 rolls of fabric from her. The sale was unproblematic, and Amina assured him of a future discount. 2 weeks later, the customer came back, this time asking for 500 rolls. Amina was thrilled. Such a deal helped her sustain her family and continue expanding her business. When she got the address of the meeting, however, it seemed strange. Inquiring, she asked Kabir if he knew where it was. He dismissed her rudely. "Why are you taking trouble about that? Go and ask directions when you reach there. Hurry before they have a change of heart. It's a golden chance." Believing in her husband, Amina eagerly prepared to attend the meeting. She did not know that the location was not a customer's warehouse, but an extension of the trap well concocted by her very own husband and Ifi. Once Amina reached the area, she came to understand too late that something was amiss. Rather than a crowded marketplace, she found herself in a secluded, strange neighborhood. The so-called client failed to show up. Instead, she was attacked by guys who made away with money she had carried for the fake transaction. She was shaken and disoriented, and went home only to learn the bitter truth. Kabir had been at it all along. The business tours, the sweet talk, the sudden niceness, all a facade. He had joined forces with Ifi to strip her of her fortune, intending to leave her shattered and destitute. The treachery was more painful than any hurt that Amina had ever suffered. She had worked for years, made sacrifices, and suffered pain to safeguard her marriage and children, and now it was repaid with betrayal. Amina initially wept, and then something inside changed. She recalled the neighbors' and friends' warning, bruises she had concealed, lies she had fabricated for her children in order to shield Kabir's reputation. No more. For the very first time in her life, Amina chose herself. She took Ada and Chaik into confidence and made up her mind that she would not invest her love in a man who survived on her pain anymore. With her businesses still intact and her children around her, she left Kabir choosing peace over pain, dignity over despair, and strength over sacrifice. Kabir, blinded with greed, lost it all in the end. Without Amina, his life fell apart. Ifi, seeing he had no true wealth to call his own, left him in the lurch. He was alone, broke and hated by the same people who had long sought his approval. Amina, on the other hand, emerged from her devastation stronger than ever. She focused all her energy on her children and her business, gaining respect and admiration among her people. Her tale became an other's lesson. True strength lies not in suffering endless pain, but in knowing when to leave. Love without respect is slavery, and no sacrifice can alter a heart unwilling to change.